There's the normal remains of the Great Wall. So this is what the Great Wall looked like in this area before they started restoring it. So I'm going to find a way to scramble up the side of this and get up on top and walk for a while. There's the wall I just climbed. These are some towers, or at least buttresses and support for towers, I believe. The right hand side here is pretty secure, probably because of that gorge over there. It was just too expensive in energy to haul the rock out of here. But this side, on the other hand, was real easy to take the finished rock. You can't blame them, and build their houses with it. There's still remnants of it here, but the good stuff, I'm sure, that was needed was taken long ago. Here, of course, the remains of one of the towers. And you can see the construction here of the wall itself. There, the outer layer of probably 2 to 3 feet of stone, and then the interior all pounded earth, and probably 3 grades of material at least. At the bottom, maybe mined stone, large ones, form the foundation, and then some smaller rock but still substantial, maybe on average about a foot in diameter, and then probably some kind of aggregate, and then earth pounded on top of all of that. And here you can see the wall even more closely, and more like about 4 feet of stone there. And you can see that here the gorge has become more shallow slightly on the sides, and therefore all this material has been ripped away and used for other building. And can't fault the Chinese for that. And here where I'm standing, you can see it drops off pretty precipitously on the right and on the left. But of course there would have been not only more fill than there is right here, but then those 3 to 4 foot walls on either side. And down below, more stones, and that might have been a second level for some purpose, maybe a ramp up to it right in there. Or those erratics might have been just too heavy to get much farther than where they took them. Or you see them. The wall looks pretty straight here below me, so it's probably a complete drop off. But there you can see the foundation stones that would have been laid. And then this other material. And it probably had a second floor on it. You can see that arched hallway in there. And obviously this gorge formed a natural barrier, a moat in front of the wall that was often used by forts all over the world, ancient forts. Certainly the Romans, certainly Caesar did in Britain. And here we can see the interior wall designs. Pretty nice archways, actually, considering they're not held in by any kind of keystone. Here we get a look at the remaining wall, and even the outside of this wall, it may have been sheathed by a better quality stone. Perhaps not, but maybe, as opposed to those kiln hardened bricks. But then again, they may be exactly the same as these bricks that were used to build this wall. Now this is interesting because here's a spur wall. Whether it was just designed to confuse or create a maze environment, don't know. Should pan across here and take note of the farming and these greenhouse devices I've seen before, rather large to say the least. The dominant crop, of course, is corn, and yet the only evidence I see of corn, other than maybe one dish will show a picture of corn in the menu, is the big ears of corn that are sold on the street corners. Perhaps China is a large exporter of corn syrup. Don't know what those crops are, can't see from here. Here's some more kind of sloping cattywampus to the left. Maybe this was a stairway and a ramp combination. Quite a ways down there, we can see what looks like the restored section. And then looking off to the side here, appears to be some kind of a bridge. I may discover in a few moments that this bridge is a bridge that comes from a gate that goes underneath the wall I'm walking on. Here's an irony. Stairs in fairly good condition and a bridge that goes across here, as though at one time this was used by the public. The railings have been appropriated at this end. Well, I'm sure that somewhere up there this part of the Great Wall ties in with the restored Disney portion, but I don't remember. In fact, I'm positive I didn't cross over this freeway on the little tricycle taxi that I took to get to Shanhaiguan Great Wall, so I'll have to work my way through these trees and figure out where I'm at. Now, I don't know if this was an original old part or a part that was restored sometime in the past and then not abandoned and within the limited scope of the new restoration. Certainly these crenellations look like new cement, so does look like in between the bricks. So somewhere over there I must have passed underneath that freeway. Somewhere down there there's a sheep bleating at me. There you can see a pile of rock, maybe used in the original restoration, whatever that was. The depression was for is interesting. What purpose did this serve? You can see it's fairly deep. It's curious. There's the inside of a tower. Again, I'm guessing. But you can see maybe what was original versus what's early. This is protected by a spider. That man probably wondering what an apparition I am up here, but I'm using it for the same reason he is now. Gets him across the freeway. I need a road over there. There's one. Okay, here's where they barricaded off the Great Wall. So somewhere he got up here. I have to find out how and where. Ask and ye shall receive. Always a welcome sound. Not the first they've seen go by, and so they're shutting down pretty quick. So here's an earlier gate restored, used by the local folks. I want to go for that little bit of adventure. For paving. As you can hear what I think are some very loud katydids. In a small stream that just stinks with refuse. I remember coming by this large square and wondering what this railing was for. Thinking that what it might be is a sewage. No, it's not a sewage septic. There's a man who's fishing. So who knows what this was for? It certainly had something to do with the powers of the past. This is apparently a warehouse for prior Disney-like characters of the Great Wall. Mothballed here. They used to decorate the walls. Apparently they still do.